The Caribbean is made of more than 7,000 small islands and is most known for its tropical beauty. This, of course, brings a lot of popularity in tourists from everywhere. Two of these islands include St. Kitts and Nevis. These islands flourish with developments and tourism from the increase in human activity. Although this is good for businesses, it really affects the environment and the species within. One species affected by the loss of biological diversity is the rodent species, also a part of the squirrel family. In order to help them, the Department of Nature and Island Resources will be bringing animals from Nevis into St. Kitts to increase the shrinking population.
So, first, St. Nevis and St. Kitts started out the same way. A massive volcano eruption. And bam, two islands that came with two different types of one squirrel. That's gonna be the original main population. So, basically, his first squirrel, the original species, could travel back and forth anytime he wanted. Like from here, she's like, oh, look, that place has more food than me. Oh, yeah, food. And then one day, earthquake or maybe atomic flood, this bridge disappeared, which caused the squirrel population to go in half. So they're like, no. And then, for now, they lived in harmony, far away from each other, because they lost half the gene pool. Then suddenly, in St. Kitts, something like a volcano made the St. Kitts population disappear. So, they can't travel to each other, and St. Kitts lost half its gene pool, or the thing that they could pass directly to each other. And then after that, after a few million years, they decided to have their own different population, which is flourishing. The difference between St. Kitts and Nevis is that Nevis had less predators, so they didn't have to worry about that. So in conclusion, they were both geographically isolated, and yeah, the two types of squirrels have changed in so many ways.
These rodents that inhabit the two islands share many similarities. According to this data chart, the rodents aren't so identical. After all, I believe that the St. Kitts rodent and the Nevis rodent are two separate and distinct species because of their differences and their inability to mate. To begin with, St. Kitts rodents, the average weight is 38 grams, while for Nevis, it's 86 grams. The average length is 21.8 centimeters for St. Kitts and 23.3 centimeters for Nevis. Hind limb is 7.8 centimeters and the other is 4.2 centimeters. The top speed for Nevis is 0.8 meters per second, while for St. Kitts it's 2.2 meters per second. The leap height was 1.4 for St. Kitts and the Nevis had 0.4 meters. The gestation time for St. Kitts is 29.3 days, while for Nevis it's 42.7 days, with an average time being in St. Kitts courtship displayed 12.6 seconds and Nevis with 21.3 seconds. The diet of these squirrels are acorns, nuts, plants, fruits, flower buds, and many more. As you can see, they share many physical similarities, which can infer that reproductive isolation is a factor to their mating issues. Environmental and biochemicals are the main reasons to which this is affecting the possibilities to the rodents for their mating issues. The mating leads to reproductive isolation. Reproductive isolation refers to a situation where different species may live in the same area, but properties of individuals prevent them from interbreeding. This is the main cause of why these rodents cannot mate together. Thank you.
Going off of what Mercedes has said, reproductive isolation is definitely taking place here. From what Nathanielle has previously stated, we know that there was a volcano eruption on St. Kitts. Due to the volcano eruption, it can be expected that the rodents have gone through a microevolution, which explains why when compared to each other, the differences are not that significant. The volcano eruption can be connected to geographic isolation, which leads to the blocking of gene flow. We know that at a time, there was a bridge between both the islands. Perhaps there was a gene flow between both of the species when there was a bridge, which created a variation of traits in the species, making the reproduction possible. However, due to environmental changes, there's now mating issues. It can be inferred that the St. Kitts rodents have a gametic isolation, which is when the egg and sperm, despite coming in contact with each other, fertilization doesn't take place. It can also be assumed that there's chemical incompatibility, which is when the body chemicals of either rodent, when coming in contact, creates a chemical reaction that could be harmful, which is why it's sort of expected for the biochemical barriers to be activated. It's quite possible that when the sperm enters the female's body, the female rodent's body biochemical barriers are activated as a form of self-defense. The sperm coming in contact with the egg could create a chemical reaction that's seen as harmful, which is why mating is avoided. From this theory, we believe that the mating process has not been successful due to the body reactions of the species when mating. So yeah.
In conclusion, we believe that reproductive isolation is the main reason why there are mating issues between the two types of rodents, and from the data research, one of the two species had a mutation which created a biochemical barrier that prevents species from reproducing due to the change in the island.